Hi guys, ZCrazyG here, back with another CTR video. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season, and I am sorry for the long gap since the last video. Being this time of year, I kind of had my hands full, so I'm sorry for not putting out any content, but I am back at it now. So anyway, while we may be reaching the end of 2019, we are certainly not close to the end of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled's life cycle, since as we know, Beenox and Activision will continue to support the game into 2020 with more Grand Prix events. Not only confirmed by Activision themselves, but also from the data mine of the Winter Festival Grand Prix, where code referenced at least 5 more Grand Prix for 2020. The first of which we already know a fair bit about due to a more recent data mine and an official tease from Activision. But if the previous data mine was anything to go off, then we still have 4 more Grand Prix beyond that, where we know absolutely nothing about them. So I thought it would be fun to make some predictions, some theories and ideas regarding what we could see added to the Grand Prix due for 2020. Now, I'm not going to make predictions about what each individual Grand Prix will entail, but rather just a more general outlook about characters, karts, tracks, the lot. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now firstly, the themes and tracks. So at first, people like to think that this one would be easy to predict, as perhaps they would have Grand Prix that would tie into a particular holiday, as they did with the Spooky Grand Prix at Halloween and the Winter Festival at Christmas. But they of course shown that, well, anything goes really when it comes to the theming of these Grand Prix, with more out there and creative ideas like the Neon Circus, or hell, even the upcoming Apocalyptic Grand Prix. That's a theme that I'm sure no one saw coming. So yeah, it's hard to say for sure exactly what we could expect. And this same mentality goes for the track, since the track is always so centrally linked to the Grand Prix theme. So fans have turned to different sources for potential ideas. One being a track based on the Great Wall of China levels from Crash Warped with a Chinese New Year theme, and I think that would be a really cool idea both thematically and visually. And since there are very few levels left in the original trilogy that have yet to be adapted into tracks, fans have also been looking towards themes and tracks based on other games in the franchise, most notably Crash Twinsanity. And I think a Crash Twinsanity Grand Prix would be very interesting. It's certainly got plenty of locations to base tracks off, like the Academy of Evil or the 10th Dimension. Hell, who even says that the Grand Prix need to be Crash related, as we have seen with Spyro? So perhaps we may see that return as a concept. A second Spyro Grand Prix could be really interesting. Considering that the first one focused mainly on the first Spyro game, a second Grand Prix could delve more into concepts from Ripto's Rage and Year of the Dragon. However, one thing I want more to be added than anything else is the introduction of the Nitro Kart Adventure Mode. We already have all of the characters bar one and all of the tracks, so it wouldn't be the most strenuous thing to pull off. It would just be great to see the Nitro Kart tracks implemented into the single player offerings, and would provide a big thing for players to work on and complete. In the end, who knows what Grand Prix ideas Beenox have in store, but I'm sure they'll inevitably surprise us. With where we are at now with characters being added to CTR, so many have joined the roster that it's becoming obvious that we are now selecting from, well, not bottom of the barrel, but definitely more obscure pickings. Yaya Panda and even the upcoming character Megamix, for example, are not exactly the most high-profile Crash characters. With the majority of well-known ones being added, the additional ones in the future are inevitably going to be less recognizable. And because of this, I don't know, I just have an inkling that we may start to see less characters added in each Grand Prix, but that's just an idea. Anyway, perhaps the most likely and most requested character to be added is Emperor Velo in his fake form, and yes, I am a big advocate for this as well. He's the only character from Nitro Kart not yet added, and he's by far the most obvious candidate. People have also suggested characters like the lab assistant and tribe members, though personally, I think their chances are a bit slim. Being that these are very generic enemies, I don't see it likely that Beenox would prioritize them over some other characters. But I guess we should never say never. Now, with the idea of a Twinsanity Grand Prix, then maybe Twinsanity characters could come under consideration. The evil twins, Victor and Morris, seem like very likely characters to be added, perhaps even the two of them sharing a kart maybe. Madame Amberly as well has been referenced in the game already via details in Nina's Nightmare, so it's not the most far-fetched idea to have her as a playable character. There are also some more low-key Twinsanity characters like the Farmer and the Walrus that people have suggested, but Really? I don't know. I mean, they're kind of just one and done characters that are in the game for less than a couple of minutes. They're very low profile, so I don't really see them appearing anytime soon. Some have also suggested the Titans and the Mutants, but again, like the lab assistant, I feel like generic enemies are not really going to be a high priority for Beenox to focus on adding. But hey, if we're thinking of the idea of another Spyro Grand Prix, that also presents the opportunity for more Spyro characters. Hell, Ripto and the Sorceress were found in the game's code in one of the first data mines, so maybe they were planned at one point or may still be coming to the game, who knows? And that even opens the idea of characters like Allura, Bianca, and so many others, but then again, there will be a limit to how many Beenox can add, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. And hell, there are even many other Crash characters that have not been touched upon, like Willy Wumpercheeks, Viscount, and Mr. Crumb. Seriously? I don't know, I personally feel that with the lack of characters left to be added, that Beenox will be adding less and less as the Grand Prix goes on. But at the very least, it also means that we'll get to be seeing more of the less seen and less celebrated characters of the Crash franchise, and that's certainly not a bad thing. Now finally, the karts. The karts that have been added so far in each Grand Prix tend to fall into two categories. Either a redone or revamped version of tag team racing karts, or completely new karts. Now the tag team racing karts kinda stopped in the Neon Circus Grand Prix, with the Pressurizer being the last tag team racing kart we saw, and with the Winter Grand Prix and the data mine for the next Grand Prix seemingly adding only new karts, it seems like this is a trend that we'll see from Beenox going on. But there are still a few tag team racing karts that I think many others would still like to see added. The Zwergato, Der Pickle, the Junkulon Prime, the Tweenage Wasteland, the Angstigator, Slave Driver, the Fairy Mobile. There's still plenty of really unique and really cool karts from tag team racing that I feel rightly deserve to be adapted into Nitro Fueled. But above all of these, I'm sure the one kart we would all love to see first and foremost is the boss kart from Nitro Kart. It's cool as hell, we've had every other kart from Nitro Kart added, so why not this one? I hope that going forward, Beenox keep a balance between adapting already existing karts and new original karts. As while I love to see Beenox being creative and offering brand new original content, there's still plenty of karts that deserve to come back as well. And with that, I will leave it there. There are so many things, too many things in fact, to consider when talking about what's to come in the future. And really, we won't get an idea until we get official teasers or data mines. Though I expect that we will see a new Grand Prix roadmap like the previous two before the start of the next Grand Prix. Until then, we can just have fun speculating. So tell me, what are some of your guys' hopes and predictions for the future Grand Prix in 2020? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot. Feel free to like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, guys, and until the next time, a happy new year to all of you.